place of poison. Pick your place of poison.
Good evening and welcome to Brampton's Memorial Arena for tonight's Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week, featuring the Brampton Excelsiors and Kitchener-Waterloo. Brampton coming off a win against Six Nations earlier in the week here on OJLL TV. Kitchener-Waterloo, well, they have not found a victory in their last 3 games. 3 on the season, however, including back-to-back against the Arrows. They're looking to win to keep pace with what is 4 teams fighting for 2 spots near that playoff cut line. A win tonight for Brampton will tie them with Whitby and Mimico in third. One of 3 games on the schedule tonight, including Mimico in Peterborough, a rematch of what was the Lakers giving Mimico their first loss of the season earlier on. And Oakville in Orangeville, that would be a good one as well. But we've got you here for Brampton KW, and we're underway. White jerseys with the royal purple and gold, and a big hit there. Baker run over on the opening face-off. A lot of talking off to our right. Off the big hit on the opening possession. Black jerseys for KW, who go right to left here in the first period. Ball bounces away from Callum Witter into Connor O'Toole, one of the busier goaltenders, actually the busiest last year, and right up there again this season. Him and Callum Lever Pereira of Burlington playing basically every minute of their team seasons. Nolan Byrne to the outside, coming off his career best game. Christopher Da Silva through the middle, bounced off a couple defenders before the shot goes wide and out of play. Does stay in, as it was sent across. Eric Acton couldn't find his man. Da Silva to Byrne, out on the crease. Jacob Janke there, and the save made by starting goaltender Bryce Wismer. Haven't been very many games this season for KW where we haven't seen both goaltenders, Wismer and Marcus Medill, the backup tonight. Number 34, as KW come in again. Just inside the restraining line, Ward sends it to the corner on the run. This is Chris Rothwell. Hard shot, O'Toole makes the save. The ball will roll over the back of his net, and then he picks it up, does the Brampton netminder. Brampton losing 13 players. So I was talking to their coaching staff. Ty Scott returned to the lineup the game before the last one we did, playing box for the first time since midget. Marshall steps up. That shot skips wide. Race for it. And Brampton will be the closest to it when it crosses center, so we get the over and back call. Mike Burke excited to have Ty Scott back in the lineup for the first time this season. Those last 2 games that Brampton has played, complementing this lineup that was the first time we saw them against St. Catharines, all Bowie Horsemen. Rothwell brings it back down. The shot just wide as he bounces it clear. Max Frateroli has been a big offensive presence for KW as he gets it up top to Malachi Good, a trade last year. Good, former Oakville Buzz player, going to KW, is fitting nicely with their offense, basically turning it into somewhat of a 3-headed monster. Not the numbers that we see from the 3, say, on the beaches or Mimico, but still dangerous nonetheless. Out to the outside, Bowie Horseman sends it to Janke. Those 2 will play catch. Now back up top, Eric Acton. Shot clock in the dying seconds off the end. Boards to Byrne, they score. Stay hot, Nolan Byrne. Coming off a 4-goal, 9-point performance the other night. It's going to be Byrne again late in the shot clock. And you can see there is a bit of time from when it hits 0 to when the siren goes. And that has to be on net, which it was, based on that great look from our JVI crew. Nicholas Belmonte in there for the face-off. Trayton Weinstein picks up. And that's back-to-back possessions off a face-off for KW. Clark Dunford, last year's first overall pick. OHL star as well. Dunford can't handle the return pass from Weinstein. Initially controlled by Callum Witter. He gets taken down. Goes to Dante Bowen on the far side. And Brampton had to push to get over center in the allotted 8 seconds. Now Nolan Marshall with it. Similar lineup that Brampton has to when we saw them a few nights ago in this building. Byrne over the top. Shrugs off his defender. Down into the corner. Horseman again. Gonna line up the big shot and scores. Opening night, we watched him go off for 4, and a lot of them looked exactly like this for Bowie Horseman. Wheeling around just near the fan, just outside of it, and the shot. You can see another one late in the clock. That beats Bryce Wismer. Rathwell to Seth Martineau, 2-0 the home side lead. Rathwell gives to Noah Candy off the bench. Out from the far side. Big step-up shot. That's Cal Brennan that sends it off O'Toole. Reset of the shot clock. Brennan working the far side. Malachi Good, nowhere to shoot. Selects the pass, looking for Rathwell that was cutting through. And at the side of the net, just missed it. Look out here, Dante Bowen all alone. Couldn't handle the breakout. Does pick up the ball one-handed, and he'll leave for Janke. Incredibly dangerous in transition is Dante Bowen, but not that time as he had to hold up. Brampton working around. Here's Scott, shoots through traffic, kicked aside. Wismer, but it falls down right into the stick of Liam Odette. His first game of the season. Earlier this week, De Silva, low pass. Odette can't pick up. Janke will set the screen. Odette from long range. Stick save made by Medill. And the rebound picked up. Medill comes out to throw the pick on Janke, and now KW will set up. Malachi Good. Cross floor, Rathwell turns and shoots, and O'Toole will hang on, and there's no rebound. We've played just over 6 minutes here in the first period. 2-0 Brampton. We're in the midst of 5 straight home games. This is their third of that. Longest stretch of the season here at Memorial Arena. Also marking the halfway mark of the season for the Excelsiors. Over 500 for the first time in recent memory. It's been a struggle the past few years for both of these two teams, but both of them feel like they've got some momentum heading into the second half. Frattaroli had that one knock off his stick and up out of play, so Ty Carty will pick it up. Over to the far side, bounces off to Silva. Didn't have it cleanly, not going to matter as he scores. Unlucky bounce here. As it starts with Carty in transition. Callum Witter can also step up from time to time. Part of what is a much improved defensive effort for this Excelsiors team over previous years. Some bigger bodies and worked very good against Six Nations a few nights ago. Dunford over to the far side. Another face-off win for Columbus. Brennan. Dunford there to set the pick. Couldn't handle the return pass, though. Still turned as if he was shooting. Witter, swim moves, causes two KW players to collide. Byrne coming off the bench, his lane. Cut off there by Caden Berger. All that does is let the offense get out in a set here with Byrne and Scott. And Byrne's going to drop the shoulder, headed to the net. Lost the ball in the process, back to the crease. Intended for Horseman, but intercepted. Hunter Roy, cross center, stepped up and met the big body of Dante Bowen. Bowen going to get in front of his man, shoves him out of the wings, gets called. I thought Bowen was getting called for interference for sure, but gets the quick restart, back in, gives to Horseman, his shot saved. Minute and 45 away from the midway mark of this first period now. They seem to fly in this building. Still not Brampton Memorial hot as it can get here. But yes, Jake Elliott, the sweatband rule is in effect. Brennan steps up, takes a shot, and O'Toole will hang on. Thought we might have been getting a penalty, an aggressive whistle for just a change of possession, but either way. Acton. Crashes in, Odette. Through Janke. Out to De Silva. Bouncing around from the outside. Finally his shot through traffic. A lane just opened up, and it's into the logo on the chest. Caden Berger. Stepping up was Adamson to try and push him over. Berger went to Brennan. Now they come back to Dunford. Dunford finds a seam. A bounce shot there on O'Toole. He's there to make the save. Out the far side, Ben Baker. Leaves for Horseman. Janke and Scott coming off the bench. Ty Scott has it now. He'll go over the top. Byrne was covered, so initially Scott couldn't go there. Now 22 has it. Over to the top. Sidearm shot. Medill with the save. Byrne got blown up after. And it's picked up by Braden Mitchell. Starts a counterattack down the far side. 3-goal lead Brampton, halfway point of this first period. Frederoli to Rathwell. Back across, far side. Frederoli's got it again. Now Rathwell one more time. His shot past Witter. I don't think O'Toole knew where it was and still hadn't really recovered. But does get the body on the Ward shot right on the crease. What a play from the Vancouver Warriors' first round draft pick. Dante Bowen tried to no-look the pass to a cutting Chris De Silva. Bounces to KW. Screen coming there. DeCiccio. His shot through traffic. Here's Rathwell. Rathwell from the outside. He'll put it over to the far boards. Stopping through the middle was DeCiccio. Over the shoulder chance, Dunford. Went for the rebound, but stepping in front was Connor Blondin, who did score the other night. On the run, looks 5-hole, and it's saved by Medill. Hard to say whose goal got a bigger reaction out of the Brampton crowd, whether it was Connor Blondin, number 71, or Owen Chuviello the other night, number 17, as both of them scored their first of the season. Malachi Good off the bench. Here to Brennan. They cycle the lefties. The shot comes, there from Frateroli. Bounced around the crease momentarily. Now Callum Witter comes out with it. Witter has Horseman off the bench. De Silva behind him and Odette. Bit of contact for the Brampton rookie as Eric Acton will be the last one. Out to the outside. Horseman picks the corner, and he's feeling it tonight. Don't let him get hot, because we've seen what he can do. Bit of a late developing change as Acton comes in, and from the exact same spot, Horseman does it again. Haynes has Brampton got the first shot after that face-off. They'll leave here for Frateroli. Malachi Good off the bench now. Goes down to the corner. Rathwell, Frateroli around a screen. Low shot, wide of the mark, off the end boards. Brennan needs to hurry, under 5, and they're not going to get another chance as it goes the length of the floor. That's a couple good defensive sets for Brampton. Few that they tried to push transition in, and few that they've just stood up. And a couple shot clocks here in this first period already. Acton shot, Medill the save. Byrne looking for the loose ball, had it picked up, got the reset, and it bounces down for Ty Scott, so Brampton doesn't waste too much time. After that one fell out of the stick of Byrne. He's got it again, finds Janke cutting in front of the net. He'll go the long way around the crease, up top for Acton. Acton had Marshall setting a screen, couldn't pass to him, so they go to Janke, now back across to Scott. Tons of time and space to shoot. He does, off the left shoulder of Medill. Bryce Wismer in net, sorry. As Mitchell and Janke argue over the loose ball. Nolan Marshall knocked down. Lowen Martin going for the loose ball. He got picked out of the way by Janke, number 10 counterpart. Now Janke collides with the top defender. Marshall rolls over the top. His shot didn't miss by much off the end boards. And Horseman there to pick up. Look out. Scored the last 2 for Brampton. Berger's not going to let him take a shot. Wants to step up and does it again. Hat trick for the captain on 3 straight goals. After the play was blown up in behind the net. Look at him just create movement for himself and step in. And yes, Jonathan Donville, the Cornell man, is red hot. And now it will be Marcus Medill taking over in net. 5:55 to go in what is a 5-0 game. 3 of those from the Brampton captain, Bowie Horseman, on outside shots. Not a whole ton. I believe that Bryce Wismer can do about any of them so far. Noah Candy tried to shoot right through Dante Bowen. Chuvayello will take his man into the corner. Captain Rathwell picks it out. Up top, DeCiccio. Rising shot goes off the end glass. And over and back or shot clock violation, take your pick. Ball's headed to Brampton. Also tonight, Peterborough hosting Mimico 3-2. The Lakers lead there. And tied 2-2, Orangeville hosting the Oakville Buzz. In another tight battle. They're all going to be tight. Headed down the stretch here in the OJLL. Here in Brampton, 5-0. Nolan Burns shot off the left arm of Medill. Nolan Byrne will restart it underneath our broadcast position. Janke to Liam Odette. Cross floor for Scott. Byrne there to set the screen. Scott cuts back, turns out of the corner. Byrne still there trying to create space for him. Scott got stuffed. 10 on the shot clock now as Janke gets it. And his low skip shot finds the stick of Medill. 4.5 to go in the period. By the way, Brampton, 84 goals through their first 9 games. That sits them tying a second place with the Whitby Warriors. As Dunford cuts back to his right side, and that's in or not. looked like it would have trickled over the line of O'Toole. Referee Simon D'Souza right on the doorstep to say no. O'Toole had collapsed over top of it before it rolled over the line. KW bench disagrees. A floor-wide battle discussion over that call. Nolan Marshall now, his shot off the end boards. Goals hard to come by for this KW team this season. 77 is third worst in the OJLL. They're 103 goals against, the second most in the league at what is closing in on the halfway mark for almost all teams. Dunford into the corner, quickly far side, Frederoli. Rathwell wants it back. Missed it initially. It bounces off the outside wall. Frederoli up top. His shot didn't miss by much. Bowen inside his man, picks up, splits three defenders, and he's going to slow down as he meets DeCiccio. Going to stay out there, however. Horseman, Bowen, and Acton, the three righties. Byrne already out there. Chris De Silva, late arrival. Byrne nearly around the corner. Here comes the pick. Byrne's shot. Kind of a cheeky little short one, as a slash on Byrne is going to lead to our first penalty of the game. I was just thinking this is a pretty clean one despite a couple of players near the top of the league in penalties. This is going to be the no-goal call. As the shot goes and players going to come in front. I don't think we really get a good view. Oh, that ball right by the line. Thought I had seen it in real time do exactly that. But Simon D'Souza, as you can see, in good position, and he was there to signal no goal. So would be interesting to see if there were flags thrown here in the OJLL, if that one would stand or not. Acton. Bouncer back for Byrne. He knocked it down away from his defender. Takes a big two-hander, looked at the ref, then looked away from the pass to Acton, who just gets it away before the shot clock. Acton's going to get another chance here. Both teams banging sticks on boards. KW in appreciation of the save from Medill. Berger now in transition. Finds the trailer. Again, O'Toole off his footing, and they're going to count this one. O'Toole's mask is caught up in the mesh. I believe it was Caden Tapp who was trailing the play. And where's the ball this time? Yeah, we're never going to tell. Never going to be able to tell, as Caden Berger sets up Caden Tapp for the first goal of the game. A short-handed marker for KW. Was wondering if special teams would come into play here in this game, but thinking that on the side of Rathwell. Fifth, a tie for fifth in the OJ with 6 power play goals this year. Brampton still on a power play of their own. 45 seconds left to go. Only 15 seconds left here in the period, though. Byrne looks off his man up top. Shot blocked by the big body of Seth Martineau, who blocked a couple there on that defensive set and gets some more stick taps for his efforts. Malachi Good stops outside the restraining line. We are in the final minute here. Both teams have 2 timeouts they can use at any point during the game, and 1 per period. Phoenix pulling, eyeing the ball carrier, DeCiccio now. Trying to push him out wide. Malachi Good in a stare down with Neil Adamson. They'll both go their separate ways as the official steps in. Penalty has expired. Brampton 0 for 1 on the power play so far and gave up a shorthanded goal. Horseman has set the screen for Janky. De Silva. Swim move, finds Byrne. His shot just over top of the crossbar. Mitchell picks it up, and the bench off to our right will call timeout. Oakville Buzz now leading in Orangeville 3-2. Still 3-2. Peterborough up on Mimico. That one in Peterborough. Again, the Lakers handed Mimico their first loss of the season about a week ago. Shot here from Dunford. That is the one that we thought went in and was called no goal. Berger back the other way. Similar play, except in transition this time, and our camera doesn't get a good look at that ball before it disappears under O'Toole, so your guess is as good as mine. Official that time definitely had a better look. Actually, both times had a better one. As we get set for the final play here, timeout called by KW. Dunford and Malachi Good keeping it up high. Good walks in and scores. Lot of movement off to the right of O'Toole and down in front of his net. Ends up with a goal here with about 2 seconds left in the period. We've seen double up picks a couple times this season. How about a double low screen? Belmonte and Columbus. Bit of a half-hearted effort on that face-off between the two of them because we were so late in the period. Big one for Brampton, led by their captain yet again. Already a hat trick in the first period. Leads to a 5-2 lead for the Brampton Excelsiors over Kitchener-Waterloo. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week. It's fueled by Gatorade. We'll have the second period for you in about 10 minutes' time.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
false start to the second period there right off the bat, but we'll set up Joe Columbus and Nicholas Belmonte and do it for real here inside Brampton Memorial Arena. Excelsiors holding on to a 5-2 lead out of that first period. KW scoring just before the period. That man right there, Malachi Good. Frattaroli over the top. Spins back. He'll find Dunford up top. That's Rathwell, on the shot. That O'Toole saves. Bryce Wismer got the start, was replaced by Marcus Medill, who remains in the net to our left. Frattaroli, low shot. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Picks up his own rebound on the follow-through. It's stripped by Bowen. Dunford on the run from his wrong side. Can't shoot. Still 10 on the clock, however. Eludes Ty Gardy. Now Rathwell. Brings it down, stuffed by the double team. And Brampton's Trent Robertson gets it over center. Chris De Silva to Nolan Byrne. If you're following along the app, we understand there's a few issues there. Timekeepers have asked us to be patient as they sort it out. Nolan Byrne walks in, and that's a nice save off the right arm of Medill, who's had about 10 minutes to get into game mode after coming in cold in that first period. Good save on his first touch. Noah Candy off the bench scores to the 5-hole of O'Toole. Doesn't look like much as it started by Trayton Weinstein. He finds Candy cutting through in the low shot. Gets through O'Toole. Just like that, KW within 3. 5-3 the lead now. That Bowie Horseman hat trick looks even bigger. At this point, though, still early in the second period. Nolan Marshall swings the stick at Ryder Haynes. Caught him in the face mask. Haynes had a little peek back at the official. All arms are down, so they'll leave to Frattaroli. Frattaroli getting it back again. Pass here to Rathwell. He ducks, takes the shot. O'Toole with the save. Rebound rolls out to Ty Carty. He'll quickly find Marshall. Has Witter with him in transition. Witter ran out of space. No shot. So Nolan Byrne across the top. Trailing him is Ty Scott. He'll walk it down in towards the defense. Be careful of Horseman here. This time he passes to Janke. Cleanly intercepted. Lowen Martin all by himself. Martin a couple fakes the shot, and O'Toole makes the save, putting the knee on it. And Martin ran through the crease after the fact, so when he went to touch the ball, he was ineligible. Gives the ball back here to Brampton. Horseman to Acton to Byrne to the corner for Scott. Scott works up top. His shot partially blocked. Officials are going to confirm. Scott works around his screen after they did say that it went off a KW player. Roy got the loose ball that time. Weinstein first one up floor. Joe Columbus trailing. Columbus waits for the offense to get out there, including Nathan Ward, Dunford, Brennan, and Candy down the near side. Malachi Good, the last one off the bench. Good here to Dunford. Fakes the shot, drags through. Shot ended up wide and on the back of the net. Adamson clears center before passing to Janke. 4 minutes gone here in the period. The only goal so far on the side of KW. Noah Candy streaking off the bench. Here's De Silva for Brampton, cutting through the middle. He'll stop there at Byrne and nearly intercepted again as Reese DeCiccio jumped the route, couldn't cleanly intercept, but headed down floor. 8 to get across center for KW, and just barely made it. Frattaroli, Candy. Down towards the corner, DeCiccio. Back up top for Rathwell. Frattaroli backing up. Cardi all over him. Ball to the far side. Partially blocked by Brampton. Rebound comes back to Rathwell. Was never on balance. And ended up falling and losing the ball. Callum Witter. Cross center. They'll slow it down with Ben Baker. As we said, similar lineup for Brampton to the one they ran out last time we were here. Acton on the crease. Scores! Three different players had hat tricks last time we were here on Tuesday. Horseman not one of them. Acton, however, was. Horseman steps back like he's gonna shoot, and even when he doesn't, it's dangerous because he can find the man low, jumping into that bottom space. Columbus finds a man to his left to lift that face-off towards. Looks like him and Belmonte are going to go head-to-head all night long. Modified season as we look at the ball bouncing here to Witter. Ward and Good using their speed to catch up. Witter's going to step into the shot and took a bump after. Got up a little slowly and will make his way off to the bench. Here's Horseman. Horseman from outside. DeCiccio's not going to give him his favorite spot. And DeCiccio does pick up the loose ball. Go back to the face-off story. Bo Columbus was near unbeatable in the modified season. Rathwell, that's Frattaroli on the doorstep. Rathwell has the ball now, the captain. Number of fakes in front of O'Toole, who ended up making the last save. Here's Rathwell pushed outside. He'll go to Dunford. Brennan coming to put the screen on Belmonte. Back for Dunford, who crashes into the defense. Argument can be made for a holding call on Chuvayello through the middle, but not going to come. Acton fake the pass, takes the shot. Off of Medill. It looked like they were calling reset. So this should be Brampton ball, and it is. Ty Scott to Acton. Over the top, big fake to the crease. And Medill another save, but it goes up into the screening and another 30-second clock for the Excelsiors. Scott's going to set the screen for Byrne. Janke will do the same to Acton now as the ball returns back to the left side. Going down, Scott. Ball floated away from him. Nolan Marshall lowers his shoulder, took top spot. It'll bounce back across to Janke. He wants to go to Scott again one more time. Byrne sets the screen. Scott with the pass to Byrne, and that shot just wide. That two-man game on the left side is what really led to the victory for Brampton on Tuesday. KW stuffing it so far. Here's Marshall. Scott far side. Byrne sets the screen. Knocked his man down, and Scott's shot finds iron. KW found it cleanly, but Ryder Haynes had no one to pass to, and Brampton's defense did a good job of getting back. Rathwell to the crease. Shot there, O'Toole to save. Dante Bowen in transition with Witter. Shoots on the run. And Brampton's going to be called for too many men on the breakout play. Home fans don't like it. Just our second penalty of the game. Here's the Rathwell play. It's a crease violation as soon as his feet come through. Three guys back, two take off, one to the bench. And unfortunately our cameras wouldn't be able to pick up where that player rejoined the floor. So it's a power play here. And remember, keep your eye on Rathwell, the top man. Tied for third in the OJLL with playoff goals. First shot from Good wide. Dunford. Couple of fakes from Barger. It's back for Frateroli. Caught O'Toole leaning left. Shot goes right. And it's 6-4. Not much of a play here. Brennan going through, and then Max Frateroli's power play goal through traffic. Pulls KW back within 2, 6-4 now. Janke backs away from the dotted line. All the way up top to Silva. Going to take it to the crease. Ball's in, but was he in the crease before it happened? That's what the official says on a crease violation. Meanwhile, KW back the other way. Having to stop and pull out was Braden Mitchell. DeCiccio. Back to Ward to the far side. Dunford's low shot. Handled by O'Toole, who gets up and feeds it down floor. Adamson too far. Takes a little short hop in front of Medill, who still, I think, had to be careful with it. I'm not sure that had a danger of going in, but either way, interesting little bounce right in front of the bench. Ward's stick explodes in his hand as he was hit by Adamson. Outside shot off the boards. Blondin with the recovery. Now they go to Robertson. Trent Robertson, the second leading penalty minutes getter in the OJLL. Couple shoves for his man as they came off. Here's Byrne. Lowered the shoulder on Tapp, who scored in that first period. Outside shot, Scott couldn't follow through, and it forced the ball wide. Cadenberger leaves for Rathwell. Past the halfway mark of this second period, 6-4, Brampton lead. Frateroli to the corner, to the crease, Malachi Good. Oh, the quick stick just sailed wide of the net, and I think that one could have snuck past the post if it was on target. That one is on target. Malachi Good fired up and wants the bench to do the same. Perhaps a little upset. He missed the quick stick before that, and watch the celly to the bench. Kitchener-Waterloo off to our right, fired up. It's their sticks you hear in the background, and early movement from Belmonte gives Kitchener-Waterloo another chance. Brennan, Frateroli into the corner, Ward. Can't get it through the defense, and then Bowen went right through his man Frateroli, who's getting up slowly in front of the crease. But that was enough for the interference call to give it back here to KW. Ward and Belmonte involved with each other. Remember his Ward stick that blew up in his hands. Frateroli. There's a big screen far side, and Brennan's got to put it down. Meanwhile, headed down floor. That was Adamson. Look out here behind the play. All of this on Brampton's count. Now it'll be reset with Mitchell coming in to take the pass. Acton and Witter both had trouble with it. And now KW gifted an opportunity. Good to Rathwell. Sees part. Shot! O'Toole down, it's in. And we're tied. And O'Toole wants a water break. Gives us a chance to take another look at the goal that ties this game. Malachi Good's been involved with all of this. Shot there from Rathwell gets through. And we're knotted at 6. Meanwhile, out of town scores, Lakers. They got something on Mimico, man. They're up 6-3 right now in the second period. Orangeville 6-4 on top of Oakville. That one just north of here at the Bunny Barn, about a half hour or so up Highway 10. Late call here as Trayton Weinstein went down. Arm of the official goes high, and Belmonte's going to go off. This game has slanted all the way in KW's direction right now. Scoring 3 straight goals. And now going back to the power play. Looks like the stick check is okay, and then the feet get tangled up. The official thought about it for a little bit, but will give KW their second power play of the game. Scored on the most recent one. Here's Rathwell. Frateroli to the corner. Frateroli shoots from top spot. That hits off somebody. Perhaps Carty, who was right in front of it. Witter trying to knock it over the line. Can't catch up before it's picked up here. Frateroli. Number of fakes the shot. And O'Toole hangs onto it. Carty. Up and across center. Puts it in the pocket of Bowie Horseman. And the Brampton captain will no doubt slow things down here. De Silva and Byrne, the only two up with him, as Kitchener elects to leave one man back. So Brampton has to do the same. Horseman cross Flores twist shot in desperation at the end of the shot clock. Well wide of the mark. Which gives 50 seconds left for this KW power play to work. Rathwell will set it up as he normally does. Frateroli to the corner. Malachi Good. Through Frateroli. Rathwell looks off that right side. Now they go across for real to Brennan. Dunford's taking top spot. Brennan to Dunford. Quick stick. Rathwell, is that one in? Yes, it is. For the first time tonight, KW lead. A pair of power play goals already. And that's why Rathwell is so dangerous. As he fires it from just to the right side of O'Toole. And it's an unsteady 5-hole for Connor O'Toole tonight, it looks like, is seen more than a few shots. Feel like he made the save and then have to flop to cover up. Shot clock's not working here, so the count is down with the official. See it come from outside for Brennan. KW player stood in front of Bowen and took his transition away. So he heads off to the bench in favor of Eric Acton. This Brampton offense that had been so high-powered, but what happened in that intermission? Well, Janke trying to turn it back in their direction. That shot finds the top corner. Retying the game. Scored 5 minutes into this period, but a lot of KW ever since then. Normally it's KW keeping it tight in the first and then a late outburst as Bowen runs over Columbus, then tried to shoot it down floor. Belmonte with it. And what happened in between the benches? I think Dante Bowen getting a penalty here for a slashing call. Columbus was down on the carpet. Bowen arguing. One bench telling Bowen to be quiet, the other bench telling him to keep going, as KW understands how important he is to the Brampton defense. But that goal from Janke had sniffs of momentum headed back the other way, and a perfect power play so far. Goes back to work. Rathwell collided with Witter. Blondin on the crease, wasn't going to let that pass come out. Frateroli goes back to his man behind the net, and off the top of the stick of Dunford and out of play. The explanation to the bench, by the way, was that Bowen's slash did not hit the stick. It was into the back of the head. Horseman turns and fires right off the back of DeCiccio, who just stood there and ate it. Words of Jonathan Donville, don't rub it. Well, that's a good soak. Under 5 to play here in the second. By the way, wish Donville's Boston Cannons good luck in the PLL this week. That's why he's not next to me here tonight. Up to Candy. Cross to Rathwell. Low skip shot and late reaction from O'Toole, but it does go off the right pad and now to play. 40 seconds now for this power play to work. Malachi Good looks off the shot. Candy to the corner. Now goes to Rathwell. Good. Didn't miss by much. Neither did the return shot, and it skips off the glass and away from Candy across center. So it will be an over and back with 20 seconds left. Brampton can take this whole thing all the way down and get Dante Bowen back on the floor. $8-4 the lead now for Orangeville over Oakville. Still 6-4. Peterborough on top of Mimico. Ty Scott far side staring down Berger. Janke cutting through, can't accept that pass. It bounces in front of Acton, but Mitchell there for KW. Just going to let it roll through his crease. Berger now far side. DeCiccio leaves for Weinstein. Down the boards, Frateroli. Ward trying to clear space. Dunford circles the crease, gets the pass, shoots low. And Phoenix Poland overran it, which was probably a good thing because momentum took him back into the crease. And O'Toole cleared it. A hit on Poland behind the play. Drew a bit of a conversation. Here's Horseman. Acton coming to throw his screen. Horseman will go back to number 24, and it bounces wide. Janke picks up. They signal shot clock reset, though, so that must have got Medill in there somewhere. Here's De Silva. Burns setting the screen for Chris De Silva. That opens up shooting space for number 22. Couldn't handle it in time. And Tapp will go back. DeCiccio with it. He got stopped in his tracks by Witter, and man, the more I watch Callum Witter, the more impressive his defensive game is. Can jump in transition as well. Malachi Good being worked over into the middle here. Him and Belmonte have been going head-to-head all game long. Low shot there, Rathwell, that hit a leg, and now comes up top. Brennan won't have time to let one fly. Ty Carty can't pick up. We got a number of whistles here. And a delay of game called against Brennan of KW. So it'll be just their second penalty of the night. Second power play chance for Brampton. And it'll be Horseman that will start with it with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the second period. Game that was 5-0 at one point. Here's Acton to Horseman from up top. That shot Gets a piece of Mitchell before it bounces to the far side. Again, no reaction from Mitchell. Acton the twist shot. Medill to his right to take the post away. Acton to the crease. Janke trying to find Scott backdoor. It'll bounce to Byrne. Nolan Byrne, Horseman. No room down the pipe. Although the fake pass froze the defender long enough for him to get a shot in on Medill. Looks to the bench to see what they want to do. Minute 15 left in the penalty. Byrne will take top spot. His shot hit off Mitchell. That's 2 blocks now on this penalty kill. Horseman to Acton. Towards the corner, Janke, Horseman, Acton again. All right so far now. Byrne on the left. Horseman around the screen. Bounce shot. Own rebound. Shoots in just wide. Janke was celebrating. This one goes up out of play, and they're going to say it's off a KW player. Horseman was that close to number 4. Last minute here. KW, the only team that took a timeout in that first. As the ball comes across to Rathwell. Directing traffic with his head, wants Mitchell to come across. After a couple big blocks, back the other way. 25 to go in the penalty. Rathwell collides with Cardi. Chuva yellow there. Whoa, oh boy, O'Toole back in the rocking chair again. And this time the ball stays in front of him. Bowen will leave for Byrne and Acton, and Brampton's bench is going to call timeout with 18 seconds left. Shot clock showing 30, so I believe that's where this is going to start. Watch this from Horseman. Normally cranks from outside, tries the bouncer, clean catch. Oh, I still don't know. Me and Horseman, neither of us know how that one stayed out. And then back the other way, Rathwell. I mean, that one more obvious than the 2 in the first period, but it's been an adventure in the crease of O'Toole here tonight, for sure. Despite that, we're still tied at 7. Eight seconds to go on the KW penalty. So that's why O'Toole is going to stay in the net, it looks like, for this last chance shot. In a 7-7 tie, Acton. Starts with it up top. Goes to Horseman. Acton sets the screen. So did Byrne coming in across. Scott knocked down, still with it. From his face, finds Acton across to Byrne. Steps through. Steps in the crease. Correction. Says the official. Still 3 seconds to go. If KW can get it down floor in time. And Janke, a bit of a conversation after the hit. KW might have had a chance if they could have got it down floor. As it looked like Cal Brennan was down behind everybody with only about 4 seconds left, but they elect to just run it out as they controlled the majority of that second period after Brampton did so in the first. That's how we end up with a 7-7 tie here on your OJLL Game of the Week. Fueled by Gatorade. We'll be back in just under 10 minutes with the third period. Back live at Memorial Arena in Brampton for the third period of what is a tied 7-7 game between KW and the Excelsiors. KW playing 4 games this week, all of them on the road. Meanwhile, as we said, Brampton in the stretch of 5 straight here at home. Teams have switched ends for one final time. It's Marcus Medill down to our right. Weinstein passing it to Rathwell, back to Malachi Good, who finds the corner, and an early lead here in the third for Kitchener. Hat trick for Malachi Good. Just steps to the outside, and that shot's been dangerous all night long. The go-to Selly and Joe Columbus has been good at the draw. Does it again here. Brennan hit hard into the boards. Meanwhile, Dante Bowen runs away from the scene. Mitchell, one of few players that can match him in size in the OJLL. Nolan Byrne fakes the hidden ball play. Now goes to Chris De Silva. Horseman back across, 5 in the shot clock. Bowie Horseman has it again. Scoreless since that first period hat trick. Won't get one here either as his backhand bounces up and out of play. 3 goals from Good, 2 from Rathwell, 1 from Frateroli, Nolan Candy, and Caden Tapp. DeCiccio trying to add his name to that list, a big high step. Shot that hit a body in front, and Neil Adamson, cross center, will leave for Bowie Horseman. First period hat trick. De Silva, Byrne, Acton, and Janke, the other goal scorers. Ty Scott goes to the far side, ducking into the middle, taking a couple whacks. There is Nolan Marshall, lost the ball in the process. Tapp picks it up, had a man in behind everybody, but Brampton able to catch up as Tapp had to double clutch it right back at center. Here's Frateroli. Lowen Martin crosses in front of him. Rathwell sniffs the lane to the cage. Dives landed in the crease. I think he was good until the landing, to be quite honest with you. As the feet have to stay clear of the cylinder. On the crease dive, just crossed over at the last minute. Here's De Silva. Now Acton. Janke sets the screen and tried to return it into a pick and roll. Marshall turned back, had the ball slashed out of his stick by Seth Martineau. And they're streaming off the Brampton bench again, so Lowen will slow things down. Malachi Good, opening space for DeCiccio. He lost it, so it's played back across. Rathwell has it. Back for DeCiccio. Rolls out of his stick, finds Dunford in behind the net. Shot clock reset inadvertently, and the officials will blow it dead. Chuviello up through Phoenix Pullen. Now Bowie Horseman. Janke coming to set the screen. Horseman's shot, oh boy, off the arm of Medill. Took a one bounce toward the bench, and the second one, or the open net rather. And the English on the ball on the second bounce carried it away from trouble. Here's Ward, Brennan. Up top, Frateroli. Ward there to set the screen. Comes back again on Witter. Now Rathwell over the top. The seam opens up, and he shoots right into the midsection of O'Toole. O'Toole quickly up to Witter. That one didn't roll out of the stick of Byrne the way he wanted, so he had to turn back and put a little more on it to give it to Acton. De Silva with a man behind the crease, can't go there. There's a defender as well. De Silva's shot hits off the body of Mitchell. Now Acton picks up, had a little spot at the hip of Medill, who came across to take it away, and then blown up is Marshall. Seth Martineau had bad intentions on that hit and unfortunately takes the ball away from KW, who are headed back down the floor. Byrne, Janke. Hard shot wide, Acton flips it to Byrne. His shot on the mark, but Medill there. 4.5 gone in the period. KW up by 1. Here's DeCiccio. Outside the restraining line, he'll now give off to Dunford. Rathwell trying to clear space. Dunford walks in, the shot there. O'Toole hangs onto it, gets up and looks at transition out and down the floor. Ty Carty to bring it down. One more step would have ran him into Caden Berger. So he'll get rid of it here to the captain, Horseman. Acton in front. There's the screen. Horseman over the top. Shot hits the body in front. That's off of Mitchell. Recovered by De Silva. He'll turn back, but there's only 5 on the clock. Chris De Silva shot just over the turf and just over the foot of Medill. This is in nobody's playbook, as it was a mess from the start. Then De Silva recovers, and that is just beautiful placement right over the foot of Marcus Medill to tie us again. 8-all now. Just over 5 gone here in the third. Columbus wins the faceoff, although won it right in the direction of Witter. So he picks it up and gets it to open floor where Dante Bowen was waiting for it. Horseman off the bench, so is Nolan Marshall. Pick coming from Janke. Still no room to shoot from Horseman, does so on the run though, and it's caught by Medill. Horseman lost the stick, that's the one that's got the goals in it. Or at least it did in the first period. Maybe if he gets a new one, he'll find a couple more here in the third. Rathwell. To the outside, Frattaroli, he's pushed back by Robertson. And they work it again to the corner, DeCiccio. Continuing around the world, Frattaroli, they wanted a penalty called there against Robertson, but not going to get one as the hand was more, I want to say, pushing off than it was grabbing. Here's Byrne. Her get over from one bench, that was Brampton, and then 8 call from KW, and about a half step late at the tail end of that clock. Gives it back here to KW. Frattaroli, Rathwell. Up top, Ward, the defender in front, had fallen. Pulling gets back up to drag it out of the feet of O'Toole. Here's Byrne. Career night Tuesday. Not so much here this evening, just the one goal to speak of. De Silva over the top. He finds Byrne. Could be right on cue. Over the shoulder, finds the post. Then De Silva stands up trap. Otherwise, he was headed down floor. Byrne has it again, wants to shoot. Little skipper that hits off the logo of Medill. Martineau stood up the first man. Odette going back after him, one-handed, cradling it over center. No Candy off the bench. They'll go to Brendan, the trailer, just over top of O'Toole. Didn't hit anything before it went up out of play, so fresh clock for Brampton. Bowen across center. He'll stay up. Janke and Marshall. No Horseman here, no Byrne either. It's Ty Scott, though. Sidearm shot goes wide, and unable to hold the line was Nolan Marshall. "12 minutes to go in regulation. Frattaroli back to Ciccio. Shot past the screen and scores. Bit of a late developing play, but Clark Dunford Hasn't scored in this game, but we've got him for 3 assists at least. Helping to the 9-8 lead. Another play where it looked like Columbus pushed the ball forward. Drops down in the stick of Mitchell. And he's been fun to watch at the dot. Here's Brennan. Big high step. Brennan has it again with under 10 on his shot clock. Weinstein to Candy. Out to Ward. Shot there, Frateroli. Had to rush it, and it went wide right at the tail end of the shot clock. Ty Scott. As possessions start to become more and more important here, nearing the halfway mark of the third period. Acton. Out to the outside, had Scott cutting through, couldn't hit him with a pass. So Scott recovers, trying to open a screen here for Byrne, cutting through his shot, bounces in the crease. And Mitchell was there to save it for his netminder. Lowen, good, down the boards to Ciccio. Candy open up top, wants it. Lowen open on the crease, gets it, and scores. Seven different KW players have found the back of the net now here in this game. Largest lead of the night for KW as they're up by 2. Owen Martin found all kinds of time and space in front of O'Toole. Columbus wins another face-off. Bowen throws another big hit, but it's Brampton that works out with it. Baker knocked off the ball by Martineau. KW look out by their crease. Rolls far enough for Baker to pick up and score. And now 6 different Excelsiors have scored here in this game. KW worried about the back-in call, I think, if they had touched it. Baker had to wait for it to clear out of the crease, and did, and was all alone and makes no mistake. 10-9. Columbus is going to win this one so clean, it's going to hit the end safety netting. And it'll give Brampton's offense a chance to set up. Horseman, Acton, De Silva, Byrne. Janke on the crease on the far side. Acton there in front of Horseman. Now going back to Acton. Janke was coming across to set the screen. Horseman does. Acton still with it. Nice little slide across there by Martin. Lowen Martin keeping Eric Acton at bay. Late in the shot clock, Horseman to his spot. Head of the stick might have gone farther than the ball. Remember, that's a new shaft that got broken earlier, and they need to tighten the screw a little bit. Nice of the official to bring the shaft back to the bench, but the head is still sitting over in the corner. Dunford, low shot, oh boy. O'Toole has been caught looking behind him a couple times tonight, and KW, the more he does it, the more they've been going down there. It's Byrne to Janke. Now for Scott. He'll cut the corner, reaches across, and Medill goes with every move and will make the save. Closing in on 9 minutes left to go. Mitchell takes a chop from Marshall. Ward off the bench with the pass. Good will find Rathwell. Couple of spin moves. Look out. Here comes Bowen. Had the bomb doors open, and it's off the end boards. Bowen wants to head down floor. Nearly did so without taking the ball with him. He's got eyes for the net. There's hardly anything that can stop him. He'll leave for Acton, though. De Silva backdoor stumbled, and the arm goes high. It's going to be Martineau for an illegal cross check. Looked like De Silva was losing his footing. And just an unfortunate sequence of events here for Martineau. That is into the helmet, and you do need to be responsible for your own stick. Not arguing the call, but I don't know what he's supposed to do. Byrne and Horseman. Byrne's the one that takes the shot. It's off Medill. Bounces towards his left-hand side where Byrne picks it up and gives to Horseman again. Acton, no shot. Behind his back to the crease, Janke. Now Acton, Horseman fakes the shot. Faked the pass, rather. Took the shot. And Medill there to make the save. Took 34 seconds out of the penalty time. Tap and DeCiccio leaving it up top. Chuviello spying the play, as is Ty Carty and Adamson. Shot from a bad angle. Takes a hop all the way back to center, where Brampton will leave it. Owen Chuviello to Janke. Scott already out there. Byrne is as well. De Silva joins, as does Horseman. 50 seconds left to go. In Brampton's third power play of the game, still yet to score. Byrne and Scott and Horseman. Tries to twist bouncer. Goes wide. Scott has it. No look crease pass. And intended for Janke. It was intercepted to DeCiccio, who's now going to turn it up floor. Dangerous spin move there. Back near the timeline. Then maybe an even equally dangerous pass to Frateroli. 2 seconds between the game clock and, or I should say shot clock and penalty clock. Rathwell in front, shovels it and scores. Two captains are putting on a show today. It's a hat trick for the KW's captain, Rathwell, after Horseman did it in the first. Got to be honest, I was looking most of that set at DeCiccio up top, who took a bad cross check. Then Gents turned back to the ball long enough to see flight 19 cleared for takeoff right in front of the crease. That's two short-handed goals surrendered on the power play in this game by the Excelsiors on 3 power plays. And they'll be 0 for 3 as it expires. Down by 2. Here with 6.5 left to play in regulation. Ty Carty spying his man Brennan. Frateroli will put it to the outside boards. Good cutting through. That one's going to bounce off the boards where it's picked back up. Byrne in behind everybody. Number of fakes. And the left wing pops out from Medill to make the save. One of the most dangerous sticks on the offensive side of Brampton, all alone, and Medill bails out the defense. Up top, Candy. Perfectly timed stick check there from Robertson, who's got the ball now. Didn't allow Candy's shot to get through. Here's Acton and Janke. Horseman trailing, as is De Silva. 5.5 left in regulation. Scott over the top. Back here to Acton. Janke's going to clear space to the outside. Horseman. Can he match what the other captain's done? No, he gets swarmed instead. Knocked down. Horseman still with the ball. Shot clock's going to expire as Janke can't push it towards the net. And they are all kinds of fired up over on the visitors' bench. Off to our right. Mitchell. Frateroli, Berger. Brampton bench, none too happy about the 8-second call. Here's Rathwell, or lack thereof. Berger tried to find a cutter, Frateroli, and it was cleanly intercepted. Robertson, a couple swim moves. He eventually finds Witter, who does well to stay out of the cylinder and the crease. Gives back to Scott Horseman. A couple officials off to our right didn't believe so. But Byrne does have it with less than 10 to shoot. Horseman, outside Acton. No shot, leaps and takes one, cleanly intercepted, and Berger lets it roll into his stick. DeCiccio now. Needless to say, next goal is a big one. DeCiccio. Not just here in this game as Ward brings it across to Brennan. Perhaps in the seasons of these two teams. DeCiccio slams on the brakes. Now to Rathwell. 3 to shoot. He does. Got drilled after the fact. And they call Adamson for blowing up the shooter. And a fresh 30 seconds here for KW. He can't believe it. Dunford. Candy. Into the corner. Rathwell. Screen comes from Dunford. They go to the corner. Brennan. Cross floor quick stick. Again, O'Toole down to his knees, but kept it underneath of him. Dante Bowen clears center. Oh boy, backpedaling close to the timeline as he was coming off for a change. De Silva sets the screen. Byrne passing to Horseman, now Acton. Bowie Horseman. Lets this pass come through to Byrne. Reaches past his defender and scores. He's just got so many moves and so many shots that have been on display the last couple times they've been on the game of the week. And here's another little cheeky one. Just as the 5-hole opens up, you can see Medill looking skyward as Brampton pulled back within one. Face-off won by Belmonte. Over the top, Witter to the far side, and as good as Columbus has been in this game, and they need a face-off win, it's Brampton that gets it. Marshall shoots, and there was no way Medill was going to move in that crease. Not sure where the ball was. Ty Carty, the high defender here. Martin finds DeCiccio off to his right. Now Frateroli. Cross to Rathwell. Brennan went for the screen. Pullen stepped around it. And now Rathwell recovers. Here's Brennan. Shot off the shoulder of O'Toole. Rebound picked up Pullen. He gets run over. All of this on Brampton's clock. Now Brennan picks up fresh 30. Rathwell over everyone to DeCiccio. 2-minute warning. Each team with a timeout in hand. Rathwell, DeCiccio, one-on-one with Carty. Rathwell and Pullen in a hard battle here on the near side. Pullen steps up, trying to put a hit on Brennan. Ball comes back to Rathwell, who's now one-on-one. And look out, big hit. Brennan, the big shot, and an even bigger save than all of that was O'Toole. Robertson, Carty. Here comes O'Toole to the bench. Nolan Byrne. Acton and Horseman will be the extra attacker. Nolan Byrne. Scott was looking for Horseman far side. That hit off a body. Captain has to go retrieve it. Hard shot. That hits someone in the crease. Caden Kubliksis. DeCiccio's got it. All of this has allowed O'Toole to get back into the cage. As we hit the last minute of play in regulation, Rathwell creamed as he accepted the pass. There's Dante Bowen making a difference. Timeout, Brampton. Oh my goodness. He always finds a way, doesn't he? Dante Bowen to be a factor in the game as Rathwell stepped up over center. Bowen put him right back for the over and back, and Brampton will burn their final timeout. A reminder, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not there already. We passed 4,000 earlier this week. If you turn your notifications on, you'll get an alert when we go live next week, as we start a new slate of OJLL games of the week. Here's that cross check that I was watching on the Rathwell goal, as he's going to come off the bench and find room to shovel it in. 56.7 on the clock. A big run in the second period had put KW up top. They were ahead by as many as 2. Brampton led 5-0 early on. And we're down to perhaps last shot. Byrne. Scott. Horseman. Back to Ty Scott. Down to Chris De Silva. Room for Scott to shoot. Elects not to. Horseman can't make it either as Tap steps up. Here he is from his favorite spot. Rips it off Medill. And DeCiccio made sure it didn't come out of the crease. DeCiccio still in the crease. Only 4 to get out. And they didn't do it. Shot clock was showing 27 seconds. Simon D'Souza rightfully says it's his count, not what the shot clock says. And Janke will give here to Acting. A gift of another chance. Byrne walking through, scores! Said earlier that Nolan Byrne was uncharacteristically quiet in this game after what he did the other night. Well, quiet no more. Nolan Byrne with a hat trick, as this one ties the game at 11 with 25.3 to go. Two teams that play tight games, doesn't matter who they face. Joe Columbus was bouncing it in his stick. Brampton's going to say they didn't have possession when the timeout was called, but they're going to allow KW to talk about it. Brampton fans don't like it either. Yes, even officials can subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch these games. As a fan just pointed out, Horseman, that shot right there. Watch. Oh, I don't know. I mean, D'Souza's hands haven't started counting. There are definitely 4 pumps of the arm, though. If you're a KW fan watching that back in call, and then leads to this. Bowie Horseman assisting on the tying goal. 11-11. 23 seconds left to go in what has been a fantastic game here, your OJLL game of the week. Medill to the bench. Brennan's going to start with it up top. Joining him up high is Noah Candy. In through the middle, Frateroli, Malachi Good there as well. Watch Rathwell, he's behind the net. Clark Dunford, near side shooter. Here's the 7-second mark, the play comes. A screen there from Frateroli, over for Candy, turns, Good, picks it up, it's a bouncer wide, and the horn sounds and we're headed to overtime. KW no stranger to the extra period this season. They're headed back to another extra frame. We'll put 10 on the clock. Next goal wins. It comes your way next. This is the OJLL Game of the Week, fueled by Gatorade. Images of both benches, and what I got from those screens is how tired these players look. Gotta dig deep now. Could be going for as much as 10 minutes and perhaps more. This one's gonna end with the next goal. Joe Columbus. In Belmonte, it's Columbus as he's done all game long, winning it, but then put it up into the screening. Callum Witter, well, nearly started with it. They'll give it to Nolan Byrne instead. To Acton De Silva. Clock basically a non-factor now. De Silva to Horseman. Janke, Acton cutting through. No timeouts here in overtime as Byrne lines up the shot. That one hits the defender in front. Shaking out the arm is Trayton Weinstein. Think that might have hit him in the glove, either that or the follow through. Ball went up and out of play off KW players, so fresh 30. De Silva had thoughts of cutting to the net. He'll go to Acton now, Horseman instead. Acton across for De Silva, bounces off his stick. Weinstein will recover. Need to get it across center. Horseman tries the wrap check. Weinstein still with it. Meets the wall that is Dante Bowen. Here's Malachi Good back at center. Recovers in time to find Frateroli. Late change completed here with Clark Dunford. Now Frateroli down the boards to Good in front. Dunford stepped in the crease. Intercepted by Cardi anyways. As here's Neil Adamson. Brampton fans trying to get behind their team now as well. Acton down the boards to Byrne. Nolan Byrne from the outside. He'll find Horseman who wants the shot. Medill the save. Picked up. Another crease for Acton as he went airborne. DeCiccio, Frateroli. KW back the other way. Malachi Good now. Candy. Brennan. Out to the captain, Rathwell, one-on-one. First swim move doesn't work. They'll go to the far side. Frateroli shot off O'Toole. Candy overran it. Now Adamson in there. He does pick up for Brampton. And he's going to head out and down the floor with Bowen with him. Byrne off the bench is in there as well. Bowen asking what he should do. The answer is come to the bench. Horseman and Marshall out there along with Acton. Byrne and De Silva. Nolan Byrne has it. Tied the game late in the third. Steps in, trying to win it, and that one just wide. Drops right back down in the stick of Marshall, however, who turns and fires at the tail end of the shot clock. And couldn't beat it. Robertson, big hit as that ball was coming. And down to a knee is the KW player. Brampton's got it, and everybody on the bench beside us are calling for a penalty here as Reese DeCiccio is down. The argument isn't that the ball was there, it's that he's in a vulnerable position, is what I'm hearing from the bench off to our right. But for me, that's perfectly timed from Trent Robertson. Again, one of the leading penalty minute getters in the OJLL. Won't add to it here. Brampton had picked it up and they gave time for DeCiccio to catch his breath. He's only now getting to the bench. The attention of the trainer. That was as big a hit as you're going to see in the OJLL. And it comes here in overtime. Ty Scott. Back across to Janke. Scott accepts the low return. That hits Weinstein again. He's shaking out the right glove. Turns and fires. Scott does. Byrne brings it down. Couldn't hang on to it long enough to get another shot or a possession, though, and KW back the other way. Couple chances for Brampton there. Here's Ward. DeCiccio still on the bench. He's not going to come out this time. It's Frateroli instead. So staying up is Seth Martineau to set the screen. Frateroli outside. Rathwell over the top. Matching him is Blondin. Overran it though. The sidearm shot hits the end boards. Then the backhand at the tail end of the clock. Can't beat it. Picked up by Dante Bowen. He'll clear center across to Witter. Now Byrne. Those two will clear off as the big man's got it. Rolls it back to his captain, Horseman. Janke waits for Acton to clear to the middle. Only one who hasn't touched it yet is De Silva, the crease shooter on the near side. 10 on the clock. Janke. That's Horseman working around the screen. Looking back to De Silva. DeCicio's back out there chasing this one down along with number 21. And the shot clock will sound as DeCicio runs it across the restraining line and now close to center. Stumbling, DeCicio to Brennan. Out towards the outside. Frattaroli rolls back off the check there from Bowen. Dunford, Brennan, Frattaroli, far side. Tandy fires it right into Ty Carty. 5 on the clock. Crawford. Dunford, a long way from home. Shoots a bouncer that O'Toole has no trouble with. Up to Ty Carty as we approach the halfway mark of this first overtime period. Nolan Byrne. Screen there. First from Scott. Byrne stumbling, goes into the check. Low bouncing ball, and Medill falls down on top of it as it was rolling close to the goal line. Here's Lowen Martin across center. Brennan. Down the boards, Rathwell. Frattaroli. Candy trailing him. That's where they go with the ball now. Frattaroli. Hard pass across to Brennan, 10 on the shot clock. Brennan loses it out the back end of the stick. Carty flipping it back, intended for Adamson. That's Robertson who's going to clear center. Marshall with Horseman, Acton. De Silva's already out there. I don't think he's left the floor this entire overtime period. Chris De Silva, one-on-one. Spins back. Here's Acton. Will let a hard shot go. He scores, and Brampton win. The bottom of your screen, Will Peschnig coming off the bench to have a word with Simon D'Souza, who was telling him to go celebrate with his team. Take nothing away from the heart, the drive, the determination of this KW squad. It looks much different from teams we've seen over the past couple of years. They play tight, they play hard, they don't give up. But in the end tonight, they come up one shot short. Off the stick of Eric Acton. Again, the offense of Brampton on display. They win 12-11 in overtime. A final reminder to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Download the OJLL app from your favorite app store, where you'll be notified of all our upcoming games. On behalf of our producer, Gary Morrison, for the JVI Sports Network, Colleen Grimes of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, and our director, Rachel Wolf, my name's Matthew Carrick. Good night from Brampton. We'll talk to you next week.
It's dealer's choice, so pick your place of poison.